Good day, everyone! How to interpret Likert scale results. In interpreting the Likert scale results, you need to have a category. For example, 1 is strongly disagree, 2 is disagree, 3 is neither, 4 is agree, 5 is strongly agree. Some researchers use always, sometimes, often. But for the benefit of this video, I am going to use this category. After having the category, now let us type for the range. Okay? For you to compute for the range, since we have 5 Likert scale, simply subtract the highest Likert scale to the lowest scale. For example, 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. Then divide 4 to the given number of Likert scale. For example, 4 divided by 5 is equals to 0.8. Now get the lowest Likert scale, which is 1. So 1 and then add to 0.8, that would be 1.8. Now we can write for the range for our Likert scale 1. So our range is 1 to 1.8. Now to get the next range, all you have to do is to add the last range, which is 1.8 to 0.8. For example, 1.8 plus 0.8 equals to 0.6. Let us write for our next range. All you have to do is to add 0.1 to our last range. So 1.8 plus 0.1, that would be 1.9 to 2.6. For our Likert scale 3, so copy the last range and then add to 0.8. For example, 2.6 plus 0.8 equals 3.4. Then, copy again the last range, which is 2.6, then add to 0.1, that would be 2.7. So, our range for Likert scale 3 is 2.7 to 3.4. Then, continue to add the last range to 0.8. So, 3.4 plus 0.8 is equals to 4.2. Then, copy again the last range, which is 3.4. Then, add 0.1. That would be 3.5. So, our range for Likert scale 4 is 3.5 to 4.2. For Likert scale 5, again, copy the last range, which is 4.2, then add to 0.8, so that would be 5. Then copy again the last range, which is 4.2, add to 0.1, that would be 4.3. So our range for Likert scale 5 is 4.3 to 5. Then add 2 decimal points for your range to make it presentable. So our range to Likert scale 1 is 1.00 to 1.80. Then for Likert scale 2, our range is 1.90 to 2.60. Then for Likert scale 3, our range is 2.70 to 3.40. Then for Likert scale 4, our range is 3.50 to 4.20. Then for Likert scale 5, our range is 4.30 to 5. Let us write the interpretation based on your respondents' responses. For example, your respondents is 5. Then you have question 1 to 5. Compute first for the average for question 1. For example, let us have a formula equal sum, then select the cell for question 1, respondent 1 to respondent 5. So it depends upon how many respondents answered to your questionnaire. So for this example, I have 5 respondents, so that is why it is divided by 5. So the average for question 1 is 3.6. Then copy the formula to question 2 to question 5 in order for you to have the average for each question. So for question 1, we have average 3.6. Question 2, we have average 3.4. Then question 3, we have average 2.6. Then question 4, we have 3.2. Then question 5, we have average 3.6. Since we already computed for our range and average, we can now have our interpretation. For question 1, our average is 3.6. Then look at your range. 3.6 is falls on to 3.50 to 4.20. Our interpretation for question 1 is agree. For question 2, the average is 3.4. So look at your range. It falls on to 2.7 to 3.4. So the interpretation for question 2 is neither. For question 3, the average is 2.6. Then look at your range. 2.6 falls to 1.9 to 2.6. Our interpretation for question 3 is disagree. For question 4, our average is 3.2. Then look at your range. It falls on 2.7 to 3.40. Our interpretation for question 4 is neither. For question 5, our average is 3.6. Then look at your range. It falls on 3.50 to 4.20. So our interpretation for question 5 is agree. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Thank you and God bless us.